Oh, Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends.
Yes. So this is
And
this was my unicorn bottle to get because I didn't know that if there was even going to be any still around. This is about 1.5 years or so old at least. I don't remember when they picked this.
And you got it for a steal for what you got.
Yeah, right. But this is the Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends Maker's Private Select. I don't recall the blend. They also have a huge Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends sticker on the side. It was 2 pure, 1 cuvee, 546, and 2 mocha. And this is actually a higher proof Private Select too. It's 111.
Yeah.
Usually I see them in the 108 to 109 range.
Yeah, 108 to, like, anything below 110 is usually typical for that.
So yeah, this is a little bit higher. But I'm really interested to see how this is. This is a neck pour of an older bottle.
Let's see.
I tried one sample and it was way back. So I'm excited to actually get to sit down and take a look at it.
It is a little hot on the nose. But it's sweet.
It is. A lot of brown sugar.
Ton of brown sugar, yeah.
Still get a little bit of that signature cherry, but there's, 546 staves.
Yeah.
So I guess that's to be expected.
A little bit of, like, that cherry peeks through, but it's mostly brown sugar, a little bit of oak spice.
The brown sugar I think is coming from the mocha, and it also is. This is another one of the more viscous ones.
I'm getting a little bit of cinnamon Pop-Tart in this one, too.
Oh, you know what? I kind of see it.
Is that us?
That's your
That
but
scared the shit out of me.
like, it's neat to me. I can kind of pick apart where all this is coming from.
Right, exactly.
So I'm definitely getting like, it definitely has the viscosity that sort of comes from having some cuvee.
Oh,
It's
for
not as much as some others, but I think there's only 1 cuvee stave, so that doesn't make sense.
Well, we haven't tasted it yet, so we'll find out where the cuvee sits whenever we taste it. It's there a little bit.
A little bit.
This is dry.
Pretty
for,
dry.
For a maker's, it's dry.
But it has a creaminess.
A little bit, yeah.
That's where the cuvee's coming in.
Yep.
It still has some sweeter notes to it.
It has brown sugar.
Yes.
Brown, like the cinnamon Pop-Tart is there a little bit, but it's not as prevalent as like that Fine Wine and Good Spirits pick
Right.
that we love.
Yes. This is, again, it has notes that we can pick out from any number of other picks we've had, but not in this combination.
No, not at all. It's
The dryness almost is reminiscent of the one I made.
a little bit, yeah.
It's not as spicy as the one I made.
It's also not as oaky as the one you made.
No. But oaky was what I was going for with that, so
Right.
that makes sense. But it has some of those characteristics. I actually really like this one. Like a lot, because it's different. It's not like it's different, it still has the elements of what I like.
Honestly, I have to say this is most reminiscent of a non-Maker's Pick, Maker's Mark product. So like if you were to compare a Maker's Pick to a Maker's Mark product, this is probably the most reminiscent I've tasted. Because it does, like because of the 546 staves, it's reminiscent of a 46.
Right, which I think was part of what they were going for.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, you don't pick 546 staves if you don't want a lot of that cherry, a lot of that oak spice.
A little
A
bit
little
of
bit
vanilla.
of the drier, a little vanilla. The mocha's where you're getting some of the more rich and the more decadent and brown sugary kind of notes because there's no spice on this one.
You want me to say something like about 46 that I don't understand?
Mm-hmm.
Maker's 46 has such a strong buttered rum note, like hot buttered rum note, that I don't get on any high 46 stave private selects.
Right.
And
It
that's
could
weird.
be that it's easily drowned out by other things.
It could be.
I can see that being the case.
Because every time I have Maker's 46, I immediately think this tastes dry, but it has a hot buttered rum note. Like a super sweet hot buttered rum note. And this doesn't have it.
Yeah, none of the ones that I've had. I don't think I've had a Maker's Pick that's had that note.
Ugh. Inhaling that whiskey earlier is talking back now. Oof.
Yeah. But
Ouch.
all in all, I mean, this isn't obviously my absolute favorite, just because the flavor profile I go for is the very chocolatey and the very, very brown sugar caramel heavy ones. But I do really like this.
Yeah, it definitely has
it's hard for me to put a drier one up there in my favorites, but I put this one up there. Because it has a complexity. It's easy to pick apart, and it's predictable in terms of what was going to happen when I tasted it. But it still surprised me how well it all blends together.
Right.
And how it works all the way through the finish.
I think the brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart note, the sweetness and the oaky dryness all play well together. There is a little bit of bitterness on the finish that I'm getting, and that might just be me.
Because on the finish, I'm getting not cocoa nibs, but straight cocoa powder.
Okay, because I'm getting a distinct tannic bitterness, and I'm glad you're not getting it, because I'm
getting I'm not getting it.
I'm getting that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not getting that.
And that might just be how Maker's Mark hits your palate a little bit different, because
I'm not getting that at all.
Because that's the one.
I'm actually getting a really decadent finish. Well, not decadent, but a really dark, flavorful. Not spicy in the sense of you would think a rye, but spicy in the sense that it's a lot of oak spice from the 46. It's a lot of that cocoa powder kind of spice.
Right.
I'm getting a lot of that. This is growing on me even more.
Good, because there was the finish hit me a little bit more tannic and bitter in a not pleasant way.
Yeah, I did not get that at all.
Good. I'm glad it's hitting you totally different. But
yeah, I don't think I've had a Maker's Mark pick.
But the nose, the front, and the middle of the palate have all been fantastic with that. The only gripe I have is that tannic bitterness at the finish.
Right, which again, clearly not everyone gets, because I don't get that at all.
Right.
It's just like how some people love Widow Jane, and we hated it because it had that tannic note.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
but
Widow Jane was awful.
Other people clearly don't get that tannic note.
It has to be true.
Yeah.
There's got to be people who do enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know for a fact there are people who genuinely enjoy it.
Right.
Especially a lot of bourbon people really do like it, and that's why I was kind of surprised when we both really did not like it. But I think we're seeing the same thing happen here, where there's just a note that it's coming out in some people and not in others, and for me, it's not coming out at all.
It's got to be. But
for me personally, I actually put this it probably just peaks in the top 5. It's probably number 5.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, no.
It's number 5 behind a lot of the 2 fine wine and good spirits, the brownie sundae, and I think for me, it might be 6 because the Atlantic Liquor number 4 and the Rob Samuels.
Yeah.
It's 5. It's in the top 6. I just don't know if it could crack above 6.
I get that.
Again, considering even my least favorite Maker's pick, I've loved. The fact that it cracks the top 6 still says something.
Right.
It means that it does stand out to me. No, I really like this.
Yeah, no, it's a solid pick, and again, Maker's Mark does it perfectly, where you never feel disappointed with what you spend on these picks.
For sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.